Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, the Lamentis. Welcome back to another installment of Lamentis, and today we're going to talk about the episode 3 of Loki. Episode 3, Lamentis. So, in this episode, we see the female Loki pretty much tapping into the mind of the Time Soldier of the TVA. This was interesting because we kind of learned a little bit more about her. She went inside her actual conscious 100 years before she joined the TVA. Shockingly, I was like, really? And we see them having a good time. Seeing like she likes mimosas, likes to drink. The officer that's pretty much, she's probing her mind to figure out where these Time Lords are. I like how witty she is. The female Loki's like, yo, she's like, we've been friends for so long. She's like trying to manipulate her. She's kind of like a narcissist a bit. And we see her, not really answering her question because she kept like, trying to ask. And we see pretty much the scene change. So it seems like there is a downside to her power. I guess the more of a mind that's kind of like had a lot going on inside their mind mentally, that pretty much is harder to get information out of the people. So that's one thing I like about this episode. We see female Loki kind of having struggles with her power. You know what I'm saying? Yes, she can touch people and get into their mind, into their deepest thoughts and darkest secrets and everything. But there is a disadvantage. So we see her mess with the actual soldier, but also we see her make it back to the TVA. Also behind her is Loki, and we see them go at it in this episode. Very interesting fights between the two. So this episode has some action, excuse me. The other episode 1 and 2 didn't have action like that. We see them go at it, and I said, boy, they're equally matched. We see female Loki kill a couple of the Time Variant Authority, pretty much soldiers, and we see her injure some. We see Loki looking like, okay, looks like I'm gonna have to fight her. We also see Mobius, friend that is the judge that is literally like, hey, come on, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? She was ready to fight both the female and the male Loki. I thought that was really interesting, and we can see that the other Loki outwitted her, and it ends up on another planet, which is pretty much the planet Lamentis. Pretty much Lamentis is this planet that's like on a death, like pretty much is on a near-death extinction level because it's a moon and there's another planet kind of colliding with it. So on this planet, it's pretty chaotic. We see both the Lokis make it there. The only problem is they can't go back to the TVA or any other place with the time device, I'm calling it. And the female Loki's a little furious with male Loki. She's like, yo, it don't got no juice, meaning that we're stuck on this planet. We gonna die on this planet because literally there's no way back. The only way we can use this time device is it needs something to charge it up. So it needs some source of energy in order for it to work. So now the problem is they're stuck on a planet that's on a a moon that is about to pretty much no longer be a moon and another planet colliding with it. They come across a lady that has a power source on the planet. And I love like how the dynamics in this episode, we see female Loki and male Loki working together. I think the combination of them working together was really cool in this episode. I was like, perfectionist, hedonist. So they're like two different personalities a little bit. But opposites attract. We saw that, their way of doing things were a little bit different. Loki's a little bit more comedic. She's more serious and straightforward. in this episode, but also we see literally in this episode when they come across the lady, have the power source, they both got it. They both got hit with the energy source that she had. I love how the male Loki was really like, how can I put it? He was very witty about it. He was like, okay, I'm going to disguise myself as her old lover. She didn't fall for it. It was funny because they both was roasting each other. Like, oh, you thought your way worked? It didn't work. He like, your way didn't work either. I know you not talking, you know. So I'm like, you can see that they have disagreements, you know what I'm saying? But also they find out another way to get off the planet by taking the train. But the problem is now they took the train. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, Loki was able to disguise himself as one of the soldiers. Female Loki is one of his, like, prisoners. They see all these other people trying to leave the planet on the train. But once they get on the plane, that's when it becomes a problem. Literally, we learn that, both Lokis a little bit more in this episode. Like, we learned that male Loki found out very late about him being not the real bloodline of Odin and Odin's wife and Thor's brother. But female Loki, she found out at a very early age. She did not have a relationship with her mother, so she probably was closer to Odin in her universe. But we also see in this episode that Loki blew the cover. I was like, bruh, when Loki got drunk, I said, oh. I was like, oh no, he blew the cover. So they eventually find out. Female Loki tells him like, hey, you need to chill out. You know what I'm saying? He's, you know, singing, you know what I'm saying? Having a good time. He's like being the entertainment on the train pretty much. And eventually they find out, and pretty much female and male Loki are asked by the guy, hey, where's your ticket? And male Loki shows his fireworks magic because, you know, with him, he's more of the magician. She's more of the techie. And like I said, she created the ability to go into people's minds. And pretty much they fight for a minute. Male Loki is thrown completely off the train through a window. I was like, dang, bruh. I was like, really? And female Loki jumps out the window as well, because the thing is, she cannot get off this planet without the other Loki because he has the time device. They still have to find another way to get off the planet. So now, during this part of the show, we see them pretty much learn a little bit more about the Time Variance Authority. They're not quite what you think they are. Female Loki revealed to male Loki, she said, hey, look, by the way, those people, the Time Variant Authority, they, you know, haven't been there forever. They've been on Earth, and pretty much they were chosen to be Time Variant Authority people. Whether it's the, like I said, it's the whole infrastructure. I'm like, oh, I said, yo. And it's interesting because she revealed to male Loki, she's like, you destroyed my plan. Like, this was my perfect plan, and you kind of, like, really ruined it. Like, and I guess Loki pretty much made her mad. She got upset. She yelled, because she was infuriated with them. And I can understand why, because she had been planning this forever. For the longest. And now the plan is something different. Now, next thing that they're going to do is to head to the Ark. Because the Ark is another power source, right? That's another way they can get off the planet. But before they get to the Ark, they have to deal with the inhabitants on this moon. And when they come across the inhabitants of the moon, where they're fighting to get off this moon. It seems like this moon that they're on, some people can escape and go live elsewhere in the universe. And some people are stuck because they have no other means to survive, because everyone can't get off this planet because it's going to cause a mass extinction. The planet is in destruction. Asteroids are coming everywhere. I'm like, oh no. And literally, when you think about it, it's kind of messed up. But the problem is now, once they fought off some of the inhabitants that lived on this planet, or I should say moon, pretty much the Ark ends up getting destroyed, and Loki's looking a little disappointed. Female Loki is a little disappointed. There is frustration because that was the idea. That's what they were going for. They're like, hey, we got to get an energy source to get this time device to get working so we can get off this freaking moon. And the thing is, they can't now. So now they have to find literally another way off this planet. And interesting, now I'm like curious because like now I'm wondering like who is the real villain? Seems like the Time Variant Authority is the real villain and maybe not female Loki. But this is my episode review. I like this episode. I feel like it was a little bit more action. The other two episodes felt like a drama detective type of thing, dealing with time travel, you know what I'm saying? So I got the gist of it. This episode, there was some fighting scenes, there was comedy, and there was some adventure to it. So episode 3 kind of stood out. Episode 1 and 2 kind of was like giving you the story of what the Time Variant Authority was, what Loki was doing, why they're after this other Loki, pretty much. And the thing is, now I understand. Also, in this episode, we learned about the TVA. It's not quite what we think it is. So, in the comments, guys, do you think the TVA is corrupted? Because apparently that's what it seems like. And to me, what else do you think is going to happen next? Do you think they're going to try to figure out how to get to the Time Lords? Because it seems like they still have not made it to that part. But you guys tell me in the comments, have you seen the latest episode of Loki? If you have not, if you got Disney Plus, go check it out. It's a different type of show. Starts off a bit slow, but episode 3 kind of builds up the action. You know what I'm saying? It's action. Pretty much a story a little bit. Also, we learned about the Lokis coming together. I like the Lokis kind of working together. I thought that was really cool. I mean, I kind of miss Mobius, but oh well. But until next time, guys, have a great day. And I'm out.